the phone. Say you got a play. Bring it to the bro. Turn rain to snow. Dripping head to toe. Never doubt the
And welcome back to the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. What a weekend of sports. NFL Week 2 is in the books. Shout out to all the winners, big winners this week. Shout out to the Giants who had a great comeback. Daniel Jones, I'm sorry for talking shit about you last weekend. Shout out to the Chargers for losing in Charger fashion again, 27-24 against the Titans. The Falcons are 2-0. The Buccaneers are 2-0. The Saints are 2-0. Bear fans have completely turned on Justin Fields this season. They might be looking for their next guy. The Bengals are 0-2. The Chargers are 0-2. The Chiefs had a little bit of a scare against the Jaguars, but they get the job done. The Colts get their first win against the Texans. Richardson rushing like a baller, but then he gets hurt. Seahawks bounce back against the Lions. Eagles, pretty ugly start. Thursday Night Football, they get the dub against the Vikings. Bills bounce back. Josh Allen has a bounce back game. He looks very, very, very good. And he's still a crazy, crazy man. Tried to hurdle someone from the 5-yard line. Insane. 49ers take over SoFi Stadium against the Rams. Rams look competitive, though. They beat the Seahawks week 1. They kept up with the 49ers week 2. Shout out to McVay. Has that team being competitive. And the Rams look like they found their Cooper Kupp clone in Puka. He's just getting all these catches. Sets the rookie wide receiver record for catches in a game. That's insane. What else? Nick Chubb got hurt on Monday Night Football. He's done for the season. That was an ugly sight to see. The Steelers get their first dub with speedy recovery to the Browns. Running back Nick Chubb. Commanders squeak out a win against the Broncos. Broncos fall to 0-2. Patriots fall to 0-2. Dolphins look pretty good. That celebration by Tyreek Hill is freaking sick. Cowboys go to 2-0. The Jets are in trouble. Zach Wilson throws 3 interceptions. They're in trouble. But yeah, that's NFL. We'll touch on some of these games right now. I namely want to talk about how the Bears have turned on Justin Fields and what my thoughts are on him. If he's done, should they look for the next quarterback? Is that project over? Also want to touch on Staley and the Chargers. How much more time are they going to give him? And to wrap it up, I want to talk about the surprising NFC South. Who would have thought the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the Saints would be 2-0 after 2 weeks? That is very impressive. Also, in other news, Club America get it done against Chivas in the Clásico of Mexico, 4-0. Dominating performance by America. If you guys don't know, that's my first love. Right here behind me, I have the scarf, Club America, my first club that I loved. What can I say? We'll touch on that game. The number 10, Valdez, looking amazing. Bringing back memories of my favorite player of all time, Cuauhtémoc Blanco. And in the Premier League, another solid week of football. My Wolves lose to Liverpool 3-1. We'll touch on that game. But all of that on this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. Let's get started. Man, the Bears lose to the Buccaneers 17-27. Ugly game. Ugly way to end the game. Justin Fields throws a pick six, trying to throw a screen. His numbers pretty bad. 16 for 29, 211 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Couldn't get really anything going on offense. And the Buccaneers, a team that a lot of people thought were going to be pushovers this year, are 2-0. Got to give a lot of credit to Baker Mayfield, 26 out of 34, 317, 1 touchdown. Great numbers. He looked solid too. He was actually extending plays. He looked good out there. We'll touch on that a little bit later when we talk about the NFC South and how they're doing. But I want to focus on Justin Fields because after 2 weeks, it looks like Bear fans have completely turned on Justin Fields. And is it warranted? I mean, I think so to a certain degree. But man, if you guys are on TikTok, if you guys are on Instagram, if you guys are on X, formerly known as Twitter, man, all the clips, all the tweets, all these Bear fans just talking about the things that Justin Fields can't do. And I mean, the evidence is there. He's struggling to see the field. He's struggling to go through his progressions. He's struggling to make a decision. He holds on to the football too much and he tries to run. And yeah, it looks bad, not gonna lie. And it's crazy how quickly the fans have turned on him, which I get. They're 0-2, and they haven't really played. Like, they lost to the Packers, who have a new quarterback who finally moved on from Favre and from Rodgers. And, Bear fans are probably thinking, like, Jordan Love doesn't have any experience. Our quarterback at least has a couple seasons under his belt, or like, he's been in the league. He's gotten more playing time. There should be no reason why we can't compete with them. And Packers go and they beat them 38-20 at Soldier Field. All right. Maybe week 2 against the Buccaneers. We got a little journeyman quarterback, former number 1 overall, but he's a journeyman quarterback. They don't have Tom Brady no more. No one really thinks of the Buccaneers as a powerhouse in the NFC going into the season. Why not? Let's get the season back on track. And it looks bad. It looks ugly. And people, with social media being so prevalent nowadays, you can't hide your weaknesses. You mess up a play, you miss a wide receiver running straight down the middle, you don't see him. People are going to, pause their YouTube TV. They're going to pause their YouTube TV. They're going to rewind, and they're going to record it, and they're going to put it in the internet, and people are going to be able to see it over and over and over again. And that's what's happening to Justin Fields now. People are just putting all these clips on social media. They're putting all these clips of Justin Fields not seeing the field, having people actually run wide open, and him just not finding his man. And those clips are pretty bad. Like, I do have to agree that, like, those clips are bad, and it makes Justin Fields look like a deer in the headlights. Like, he's not ready. Like, he can't go through his progressions. He sees it. He doesn't throw it. He doesn't trust his arm. He probably doesn't trust his accuracy. There's a couple times where, like, the line actually gives him like 5-6 seconds, and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't throw the ball away. He just kind of takes the sack, or he tries to tuck it and run, and he just kind of like doesn't have a lane to go into from his pocket, and it just collapses on him. He takes a sack, and now you're looking like a 3rd and 20, 3rd and 15. Whew. But the amount of videos, man, it made me feel like I was a Bear fan or something. I don't know what my For You page was about, but I kept seeing Bear fans just, man, again, another season, bear down. Like, is this what I want? Is this what I want? Like, I saw so many TikToks of Bear fans just so over the season, so over their team after week 2. But I mean, I think they got to ride the ship with Justin Fields, man. Like, you gotta give him more chances. This is one of the, I mean, everybody was happy. No, I mean, not everyone was happy, but everyone was optimistic about Justin Fields this season because the running was so good last year. The running was amazing. I believe he went over like 1,000 yards. He looked good running the ball. He was extending a lot of plays, especially at the end of the season. Like, even his passing numbers were getting a little better. But he did run a lot. He was escaping a lot. He was tucking it and running it a lot. And they're even saying that he's taking longer to throw his football now. His release is slower. His drop back is like super relaxed, super nonchalant. And by the time he gets to the top of his drop back, like, it's like super late. He's late to get to his reads. He's late to throw the ball. He's late to, understand what's going on in the field. I think all of that has to do with the lack of development that they've done in this first 2 seasons. Like, I think because he didn't have the weapons. Now he has DJ Moore, but before he didn't really have anybody. His line's giving him a little bit of time, but I think he's so used to just tucking the ball and running because his line, like, his first 2 years weren't really helping him. He's so used to it. It's like muscle memory now. He doesn't believe he's gonna have time. And I'm not making excuses. It's just like I've seen it before. Like, if you go back to like David Carr when he started and he got sacked hella times with the Texans, he just couldn't do it. And I think about like Alex Smith. It took him a while to be able to trust his pocket and like stay there and throw the ball after he was getting like destroyed at the beginning of his career. I'm looking at Blaine Gabbert. That's another one that comes to my head where he would show a little bit of flashes, but just his time with the Jaguars was just so bad when he would get sacked and he would get pressured so quick that when he got to the 49ers and he got a little bit of playing time, like he would freeze up in the pocket. He'd start getting like small. And Blaine Gabbert was like 6'5", 6'6", and they're talking about he looks like a 6'1", 5'10" quarterback because he's getting little on the pocket. And I think that's part of the reason why Justin Fields is not developing right now. I think he just needs to get rid of that muscle memory that he's developed his first 2 years from the pocket collapsing on him and not really having a weapon, not really having playmakers around him. But I mean, there's no excuse. You're an NFL quarterback. You're a high draft pick, first round pick. You're the team has shown faith in you. This offseason they had the number 1 overall pick and they traded away. They kind of showed faith in you that you could be the guy. Justin Fields needs to step it up, and I do agree he needs to show. He does look a little nonchalant when he's dropping back, and he did look a little nonchalant when he did the little screens pass that he's trying to set up. Even in the effort to try to like tackle him, the guy that intercepted him, like it's just all too nonchalant right now. So Justin Fields, please get it together, because as a neutral, as a free agent fan, like I'm a fan of you, man. I'm a fan of you. People are gonna say that that's the MO of Ohio State quarterbacks. They can't read the field. They can't go through their progressions. I hope Justin Fields debunks that and he has a good rest of the season. But not gonna lie, after watching that game and seeing all those TikToks of Bear fans, like it might be GG for my boy, but I wish him the best. The Bears are playing the Chiefs next, so it doesn't get easier. I don't think they're gonna win that game. They're gonna go 0-3. And they're going to play the Broncos, who are going to be desperate too. So we'll see how we're looking. Maybe we'll revisit this after week 4, because after the Chiefs is not really worth. They're going to be 0-3, like for sure. Chiefs haven't played that good. They're probably going to actually beat down on the Bears to prove a point, but they might be able to beat the Broncos on week 4, October 1st. We'll see how the Broncos are doing. So yeah, we might revisit this after week 4, and if it's not looking up, then that we might have to close the book on Justin Fields. And surprise, the Chargers lose in heartbreak fashion again, 24-27 against the Titans in a matchup where they should have won. They're the more talented team. They have the better quarterback. They theoretically have the better defense, and they just can't get it done. Like, their defense has more stars, more money invested in it, and they can't get it done. Justin Herbert has a pretty good game, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns. In my opinion, he could have done a little bit better. The run game was non-existent. I'm a little salty about that, not gonna lie. Joshua Kelly, 39 yards, 3.3 yards average, but they kind of didn't really run the ball too much. They didn't make that a priority. I get that Eckler was a scratch before the game started. I guess his ankle is still bothering him. We'll see how that keeps going. But in my opinion, like, the Chargers have a way better team than the Titans. Like, the Titans were one of those teams where people were kind of understand that they've been competitive, and they understand that they've been a really good team these last few years, and they've made an AFC championship where they got rolled by the Chiefs, if I remember correctly. And they've been competitive. Vrabel is a great head coach. He's going to keep them competitive. I think everyone's kind of getting to that point with the Titans where they're like, okay, we kind of seen what you are. You're not really a contender. We've seen what Ryan Tannehill is. Like, yeah, it's great that he had a little resurgence towards the end of his career. He's playing better now, or he played better these last few years than he ever did with the Dolphins. And good for him. He got a little contract, around $30 million a year. Like, it's a good story. It's a great story. And they still got Derrick Henry. They still, they got Traylon Burks. They got DeAndre Hopkins. Like, we get it. But a lot of people, from what I was hearing before the season, like, they were expecting kind of like a dip from the Titans. They did not look good against the Saints in week 1. So the Chargers looked decently good against, one of the better AFC teams in the Dolphins. So I don't remember correctly, but I do believe the Chargers were favorites going into this game, and they lost, and their defense doesn't look good, and their offense is not clicking on all cylinders. Like, I was going into the season expecting the Chargers to be a really good offense, like on both sides, passing, rushing, everything. And the offense had a chance to put the game away multiple times, and they couldn't get it done. And then the defense, which is supposed to be one of their strengths, as their coach Staley came from the Rams, heralded, regarded as one of the elite defensive coaches in the league, and he has just not done it with the Chargers. They have Khalil Mack, they have all these players getting huge contracts, Derwin James, and it's just bad. It's just bad for the Chargers. 0-2 I don't know. I think it might be time for Staley to be gone because the Chargers last year, they were going into the season as, Super Bowl dark horses, almost playoff logs. Almost everyone had them as playoff logs. Herbert was a widely regarded as an MVP candidate and didn't really live up to it, or didn't live up to it at all. And this year, people don't learn, people don't understand the history of the Chargers, but here we go again. A lot of people, dark horses, a lot of people making them like the obvious wild card team in the AFC behind the Chiefs. And here we go, 0-2, and they got the Vikings coming up. And the Vikings are desperate as well to get a dub. So we'll see. This is gonna be this might be for the season, man. This might be for the season for both teams. The Vikings, who lost to the Buccaneers and lost to the Eagles. Chargers, who lost to the Titans and lost to the Dolphins. It's crazy. It's week 3, and these two teams are kind of playing for their seasons. And the Chargers at Vikings, who do we think is going to win? I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough one. It's probably one of the matches of the week, not going to lie, because both teams came into the season with high expectations. I believe the Vikings were 13-4 last year. Chargers missed the playoffs. Both teams came into this season with a lot of excitement. The Vikings had, Kirk Cousins on that QB show on Netflix. Chargers made Justin Herbert the highest paid player ever in the NFL for just a little bit before Burrow got his extension. Like, this is week 3. It's week 3 of the NFL season, and the Chargers and the Vikings are legit fighting for their lives in week 3. So this is one of the games that you got to watch in week 3. Chargers versus Vikings. Like, keep an eye out for that one. Like, this is it. One of these coaches might get fired after week 3. And, I was telling my friend that when are the Chargers going to fire their coach? And they're not known for firing coaches midseason, but you got the second highest paid player of all time in your team. You got Khalil Mack. You got Derwin James. You got a lot of good players. You got Keenan Allen. You got Mike Williams. You drafted a speedy wide receiver. Like, what's going on? Like, defense is supposed to be good. Defensive coach. One of the, worst defenses in the league. It's bad. It's bad for the Chargers. I feel sorry for their fans. And the Vikings. Kirk Cousins has been playing good. We'll see if they're able to get it done. Madison, that's another topic. Madison talked about how he's getting harassed on the internet. That's disgusting. They do need more production for him, but man, fans could be just ridiculous sometimes. But like I said, keep an eye out for the Chargers versus Vikings in week 3. Would not be surprised if whoever loses this match is GG's for their coach as soon as week 3. It could be that bad. How about that NFC South, though? The Falcons, the Buccaneers, and the Saints are all 2-0. 3 teams in the NFC South are undefeated. Who would have thought that would be the case going into the season? And I might say there's a lot of good things to talk about in every single team. Like, Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, not going to say balling, but playing really, really good. He seems to have found a connection with Mike Evans. Defense is playing pretty good. Offense is keeping, the chains moving. If Baker Mayfield could keep this up, wild card, not out of the picture, maybe the division. We'll see if they can do anything in the playoffs, but I think, if you're a Buccaneer fan, you're ecstatic. You're happy with the first 2 seasons. You're 2-0. You're 2-0, and your quarterback is playing pretty good, or really good. You got to be real happy about that. Baker Mayfield, we know Baker Mayfield could play. Like, he could play. It's just his consistency, and sometimes he thinks he's more athletic than he actually is. He tries to extend the play too much. He takes a big fat sack trying to, get around the corner of the DE end, and he throws like a bad pick, and then it just all falls apart. But he could throw the ball. He's not a bad quarterback. He just has bad moments sometimes. And it was tough with the Browns. It's kind of ugly, and he did pretty good with the Rams, but now he's with the Buccaneers. He won the quarterback race. We'll see how the Buccaneers do. Happy for them. I'm happy for Tampa Bay. And they got the Eagles next, so that's a real test. If the Buccaneers beat the Eagles and they go to 3-0 on Monday Night Football, hey, yo, Baker Mayfield for comeback player of the year, and the Buccaneers are for reals. And especially because the Eagles have not looked like amazing. Like they're 2-0, but they have not looked amazing. So they definitely look like they could be got. They definitely look like they could be caught. So we'll see how they do. Moving along to the Saints, they just beat the Panthers on Monday Night Football, and it wasn't pretty. Derek Carr got interviewed after the game, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? We're 2-0. It's not pretty, but we rather learn on a loss than learn on a win than learn on a loss. There's a lot of stuff they could work on still. The offense doesn't look particularly pretty, but they do have weapons. Taysom Hill is one of them. He sealed the game on a run to the left, and he's just a gadget player. He's an X factor. Tony Jones gets his first 2 touchdowns of his career after Jamal Williams got hurt. We'll see if he's able to carry the load. We'll see how serious that injury is for Jamal Williams. Tony Jones, can he give him some running game till Kamara gets back from the suspension? Olave, Shahid, Thomas, they got some wide receiver depth right there. Defense is pretty good. We'll see how the Saints do. 2-0. I think Saints fans have to be ecstatic too. This whole division, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were gonna be terrible. I thought like the division winner was gonna be like a 9-8 type of team. At best, like a 10-7 at best. But we got 3 teams 2-0. And the Saints have, who do the Saints have? The Saints play the Packers. The Packers just lost to the Falcons, who we'll talk about in a little bit. The Saints could definitely beat the Packers, even though the Packers have looked pretty good. Jordan Love has done his thing. He looks pretty good. He looks, 3 touchdowns in each game, I believe, throwing through the air. So, but the Saints could go into Lambeau and get an upset win at Lambeau Field. But yeah, Saints, not the prettiest team. It wasn't the prettiest win against the Titans by no stretch of the imagination. Monday Night Football, prime time, didn't look that good against the Panthers either, but they get a dub. They're 2-0. This is probably the iffiest looking team out of the 3 2-0 teams in the NFC South. I do think the Buccaneers have looked a little better, and the Falcons have looked a little better. And we'll touch on the Falcons right now because they just beat the Packers. A little comeback win. It looked like the game was not going to go their way, not going to lie. But they shut down the Packers in the fourth quarter, and some way or another, Desmond Ridder brings them back. He still doesn't look, in my opinion, as like he's the guy, like he's their future. He throws a lot of risky passes. He has 1 interception, but he had a couple that he should have been intercepted, but the Packers just couldn't grab it. But my God, Bijan Robinson, that dude is a menace. Like if you haven't watched, or if you don't get to see the highlights or the game, go look up the highlights. Packers versus Falcons. Some of the runs that Bijan Robinson was doing are just insane, man. Like, this guy is a freak. Like, my boy is nasty. Like, as an NFL free agent fan, like, this is the liberty that it gives me as a free agent fan, is that I could root for any team. I could watch any game. I could get any player's jersey. Bijan Robinson is one of those jerseys that I might have to cop, dude. That was raw. He's nasty. And they might be able to lean on him, dude. Like Desmond Ridder, I'm saying he's not the best, and he throws some dumb passes, but Bijan Robinson could literally be like Saquon Barkley last year and damn near be the whole offense. And just as long as the quarterback doesn't throw the game away, like kind of like Daniel Jones, 5 turnovers all of last year, or 5 interceptions all of last year. If Ridder could do that, the Falcons could be difficult for some teams. Like, their run game's so nasty. Even Tyler Algier, like, he's a good backup. He's a good backup. He's a good change of pace back. Ridder could run the ball too. He did get another touchdown rushing, so gotta give him a little bit of credit. But dude, the NFC South doing their thing, 2-0 for 3 teams. And the Falcons play the Lions, gonna be a tough matchup. They play the Jaguars, gonna be a little tough. Then they get the Texans, the Commanders. They could get some dubs right there. So we'll see. It's a nice little test coming up for them, Lions and Jaguars. if they're able to get through that, even 1-1, then Falcons are for real, man. Ride Bijan Robinson to the end. I should have drafted him in my fantasy football league. Oh my god, I thought the hype was too much. I was like, dude, there's no way he lives up to this hype. Like this hype is just too much weight to carry with such a young team. Like, bruh, like come on, like there's no way. And I drafted other people, but we'll see how he does. Good job for him. He's impressive. But throw the ball to Kyle Pitts more, man. For real, like why did the Falcons draft Kyle Pitts so high if they're not gonna use him? Like they got this man celebrating beating a man on a route, but not getting the ball thrown to him. There's clips of him just celebrating beating people on routes because my man's bored. He gets no chances. But yeah, shout out to the NFC South looking legit after 2 weeks. But that should do it for the NFL this week. Like I said, week 2 was 1,000 times better than week 1, and hopefully we keep that progress going this season. Week 3 I hope is better than week 2. Week 4 better than week 3. Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep getting better every week. Like I said, thoroughly entertained this week. Some of these primetime games could get a little better. Patriots versus Dolphins wasn't bad, but not really a marquee quarterback matchup, and that's what we want to see. We want to see 2 offenses going at it, punch for punch. Like I said, Panthers versus Saints, not that entertaining. Browns versus Steelers was pretty good, but like I said, the offenses weren't that good. Can't wait till we see that first marquee quarterback matchup on one of these primetime games. But moving along, switch it over to football, to soccer. America crushed Chivas 4-0 in the Clásico in Mexico's independence, September 16th. So it was a very marquee match, a very important match. The most important match in Liga MX, the Mexican Soccer League, and the 2 most important clubs in whatever the other people say, Tigres, Pumas, Monterrey, Cruz Azul, Leon, all those other teams could talk whatever they want, Toluca. We all know the 2 biggest teams are America and Chivas, and we all know that America is the biggest club, and they proved it. Regular season game, so we got to take it with a grain of salt. As the biggest team in Mexico, we understand that seasons are defined by championships, not by beating your little rival Chivas, who's struggling right now. But man, what a game! Like, it was so fun to watch. It was so fun to talk a little shit to the homies, to all these Chivas homies that I got. I'm sorry, guys. I told you that America was gonna win. Didn't want to listen. I do want to say Diego Valdez, man, what a baller. He's a baller. I'm so glad he's with America, Chilean national team player. First goal, leaning left, finding the right corner as you're running. Like, that was beautiful. And then to have the composure to find the top right bin inside the box to get the 3-0, counterattack to go 4-0. Like, that was, all the goals were beautiful. The first goal where, go dribbling. And then he finds, who was it that found the net? It wasn't Kevin Alvarez. It was it Rodriguez? It might have been Rodriguez because he was cutting left. He was cutting from the left side to right. I think it was Rodriguez. Yeah, it was Rodriguez. And then Sendeja got the 4th when he came in and finished the playoff, right? But yeah, like, what a good match for America. They needed it. They needed that confidence boost. They go to 3rd place now, undefeated in their last 5 matches. Good for America, man. Good for America. Like I said, I don't keep up with Liga MX like week in, week out. Like, I still love America. Like, first love. I'm always gonna support America. That, like, no cable gang. Growing up in San Diego, the only thing that I really had to entertain me was Liga MX during the weekends, and I loved it, man. I loved it. Cuau was my favorite player growing up, and then Ochoa came through, and then Clever, and then Chucho Benitez, R.I.P., and Raul Jimenez, and like Sambuesa. America, I have like so many jerseys of America. I took one to work today. But yeah, beautiful match. when I do tune in to these big matches, like sometimes I tune in to see America play Tigres or Chivas. I definitely tune in during the playoffs, during La Liguilla. I try to catch their Conca Champions games. I try to watch all their League Cups game. So yeah, I still consider myself a big America fan. Like I said, don't keep up with Liga MX week in, week out. But what a beautiful sight when I do tune in to see them win 4-0 and just dominate and get the Estadio Azteca fucking rocking. And they just looked amazing. From all 90 minutes, it looked like America was a dominant team. They were the ones, looking for the game. Chivas can't even speak on Chivas. They're Chivas, We all know that they have a lot of championships from the past. They haven't really been too relevant in recent years. Do respect that they play all Mexican players. Respect that, but we all know America, biggest team in Mexico. They prove it. They prove it this weekend on September 16th. So it is what it is. Sorry, Chivas and Valdez, man. Like I said, people are making that connection with Cuau. Like, we haven't had a 10 since this. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to just gloss over the brilliance that Zambuesa had. Because, like, there's been other 10s that haven't really done a lot. Like, and I want to say Cabañas was a really good 10 too. Before, he had his little incident. But he was not just the number 9. Like, he would be able to create for himself too. So, want to give Cabañas some credit. Want to give Zambuesa some credit. But, like, I do get where people are coming from. Like, we haven't had this center attacking midfielder that could dictate play, that's just super technical, not the fastest player, just curls the ball, like, gonna acaricia el balón, like, just caresses the ball, like, takes care of it nicely, touches it smoothly. Like, I get where people are coming with these comparisons. Like, I really do. As someone that idolized Cuauhtémoc Blanco, try to play like him, like, not gonna lie, was a little panchero. I would flop a little bit just because of Cuauhtémoc. Cuauhtémoc did it, I would do it. Like, I would take my time on the field, putting my socks up. Any little mannerism like Cuauhtémoc did, I would try to emulate and do it myself. And man, Valdez looks like he could definitely, like, be the next leyenda for America. I will say that, not being Mexican, as I don't want to sound like I only support Mexicans, but I think the fact that Cuau grew up in the academy and was through and through Americanista made it that much easier to connect with him. But I will say Valdez, with what I've seen from him and that magic he has on his right foot and his celebrations and stuff, it looks like he really siente la camiseta. He feels the jersey. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what Valdez could do with America. And America, man, hopefully we're able to get that chip this year. Like I said, America, the biggest team in Mexico, we're defined by winning championships, not winning, like, just derbies during the season. Even if it's a 4-0, like, you gotta celebrate, enjoy it. It's a big win, but at the end of the day, Club America, el equipo más grande de Mexico, the biggest team in Mexico, is defined by championships. So, third in the overall table. Can't wait for the playoffs. Match day 8 was a good one. We have 9 more to go, and then the playoffs come. Arriba la America. And unfortunately, we're going to end on a little sad note. For me, at least, as a Wolves fan, Wolves fall to Liverpool 3-1 after going into halftime with a 1-0 lead with Hwang Hee-chan giving us a 1-0 lead in the 7th minute. It looked like, we might be able to pull the upset. I'm all in you. But Liverpool comes back, scores 3 on us in the second half, and Wolves are struggling, man. Wolves are struggling. And, like, it's bad, dude. We might get relegated. We, for real, might get relegated. Like, people were saying it in the beginning of the season, and I wanted to say no. We got 3 points after 5 matches. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's so bad. That's so bad. Yeah, dude, I don't even know what to say. Dude, we got 5 goals scored. We got 9 against. Oh, man, we got a -4. Or, no, we got 5 goals scored, 11 against. -6 goal differential. That is, like, it's the 4th worst in the Premier League. It's so bad, man. It's so bad. Loss, win, loss. Well, if this pattern holds up we should win the next match. That's the only positive thing we have. Oh, we play Luton Town next. Okay, this is it. If we lose to Luton Town on Saturday, 7 a.m. morning, if we lose to Luton Town, who have scored 2 goals and conceded 10, and have not won a game, if we lose to them, that's it. It's a wrap. We're done. It's over. GG's. Liverpool, valiant effort, not gonna lie, especially the first half. Pretty good first half, not gonna lie. If we're looking at positives, my boy Neto is back, man. It took him a while, not gonna lie. It took him a while. He tore his ACL. Last year was not the best. It took him a while. He's looking like a menace on that left side. He's looking like a menace. He looks like he has all his speed back, or at least most of it. Like, he could dribble. He's direct with his attacks. He's not scared to go up against anybody, whoever comes out there, whether it be Matip or Gomez or anybody. Man, he was taking them on. He was not scared. He was ready to go run at you, cut. Like, he was doing his thing. I am pumped for Neto. A little sad because I know that we're doing so bad. It's only a matter of time till he's gone. So I gotta get his jersey before he goes. Defense, not the best. Looking a little sad. Our new signing, Bellegarde, look really good. Really good. He looks like he could, slot right there in that midfield and give us some creativity. Look pretty good. Other than that, as far as that game's concerned, not too much. Cunha, dude, you make some good runs sometimes, and you're tough and you're physical. But, dude, you got to put that away. Like, Neto makes this great play. We're up 1-0. We're dominating Liverpool at home. And you have a beautiful cross to you. You're like 5 meters away from the goal. And you completely butcher it. Like, you don't know what to do. You don't know if you're going to header it. You don't know if you're going to chest it. You don't know if you're going to put it in with your thigh. You don't know if you're going to hit it with your left, with your right. You just made a huge mess of it. I still can't believe that. That was the 2-0. That would have given us a little bit more cushion. Maybe we don't completely fall apart in the second half if you score that goal. I can't believe it. It's so bad. Like, our strikers just can't score. Someone put a curse on our strikers. They can't score. And it's so sad because, like I said, Neto's basically fully back, dude. Like, put him on that starting Portuguese team, dude. I don't know who he's going to bench, but put him on that starting lineup. Like, my boy is raw as fuck right now. He's looking hella good. So, that's the positives from this game. Neto's looking good. We made a good signing to end the transfer season. Bellegarde, however you say his name. I apologize if I'm butchering it. My boy looked nice. And yeah, on their day, Gomez and Lamina are a solid midfielder duo in the 6 and the 8. And we'll see. Up the mighty Wolves. I'm still there, man. I still got hope. Like I said, I got hope because Neto looks like he's fully back. Bellegarde, like, it's a good signing, and it looks like these other teams are kind of shit. Not gonna lie, it's not so much that I got complete faith in the Wolves to keep themselves up. It's kind of like Mexico when they got to the World Cup in 2014 and they couldn't do it themselves. They had to get the U.S. to beat Panama. Like, I kind of trust these other teams to just punk on Luton and Burnley and Everton and Sheffield and hopefully Bournemouth. And then, the Wolves might be able to squeak by because Luton Town, but I said, if we lose to Luton Town on Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which I'm going to be up and I'm going to watch. If we lose to Luton Town, all bets are off. We might be in the championship next season. And I say this as a diehard Wolves fan of 4 or 5 years since they got to the Premier League and they signed Raul Jimenez. I'm a diehard fan. I have like 6 jerseys of them. Neves, Raul Jimenez, and a couple blanks. And I'm eager to get more. I love the Wolves, up the mighty Wolves. But man, if we lose to Luton Town, it's bad. It's bad, not gonna lie. I might have a little crisis if we lose to Luton Town. I can't, and I'm a loud Wolves fan. You don't hear. Like, you would think I'm rooting for one of the big 6 teams, though how loud I am as a Wolves fan. But I get it. We're not supposed to be contenders year in and year out. But I just hope we don't get relegated, man. Stay in the Premier League. Man, Wolves. I'm sorry. I've been ranting to end this podcast. Most of you guys don't care. It's the fucking Wolves. Who, like, we're a niche team. If you go for the Wolves, if you know, you know. Like, I love Wolves fan, and I love Wolves Twitter, and I love the Wolves. But if you know, you know. Hopefully, we stay in the Premier League, and keep an eye out for me if we lose to Luton Town. But that should do it for this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.
When I slide, no sudden moves. All my goons are stretching. And I'm taxing for the feet on my damn collection.